All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's Keys to Health and Happiness webinar featuring Dr. Peter Amato, founder of Harmony Mountain Institute for Living and natural health practitioner of over 25 years experience. My name is Jake Cunningham, and I'm your host, and it's an honor to be here with you tonight. Tonight, we're going to be covering and continuing our discussion on anti-aging. Dr. Amato will illuminate this topic more by looking deeper into the roots of aging. So welcome, Dr. Amato, and thank you so much for being here live with us and sharing your wisdom. So to get started, how can you expand on this idea of anti-aging, and where do we go from here?
Okay, well, first of all, thanks, Jake. I'm honored to be here, and thank you all for showing up tonight and taking time out of your busy schedules. And before we launch into the second week on anti-aging, as you know, and for the new people here, we always begin with asking folks to develop an intention for their health, for their life, or another, community, world, whatever, and then see if it manifests or becomes alive from one week to the next. So please share on the chat if this is happening in your life, if you're manifesting your intentions, or if your new intention is leading to action or a new behavior, a new way of thinking. The question is, are you creating new habits through intentionality? Change begins within. Or even learning that by getting quiet and listening in to what we all know as that still small voice within. This can be a new beginning. In other words, you can change your life in any given round of the breath. There is no way to happiness, folks. Happiness is the way itself. So, remember, your intentions are the aims that guide your actions. That's important. Your intentions are the aim that guides your actions. So that's what we mean when we say the answers are within. So let's become quiet and bubble up an intention, or if you already have showed up tonight with an intention, bring it and become present right here, right now. Let's all relax the eyes closed. Give up the day. Show up here in the now. Place a half smile on your face. Part the lips. Get happy. And just feel how your internal organs and glands and systems and parts and pieces feels when we bring a smile inward. Fake it till we make it. If you had a rough day, fake it till we make it. Get happy now, in this moment, and in this one. Relax the shoulders. Feel the cool air at the nose. On the inhale, warmer air on the exhale. Inhale your intention. Exhale it back out to the universe to manifest. Let it connect with the flow, which was here before we were here. Send it to the river, the great Ganga. Notice the belly rising and falling. Take that half smile there. Giving up all your weight to the chair, your seat. Inhale and exhale the upper legs. Feel for energy. Notice if there's a felt sense within your body. If anywhere feels tight or needs extra attention, bring your awareness there and breathe that smile in and out of wherever you need it. We're all healers. Inhale through the crown down to the base of the spine. Exhale the base of the spine down and out the legs and feet. All pores breathe. Inhale that intention through every pore of your being. And exhale it down the legs and out into the river of life. Both mine and yours. You are me and I am you. We breathe each other. This is an intentional group that gathers and manifests together. Share your visions. Okay. And when you're feeling complete, allow your eyes to gently relax back open. Notice the difference. Keep the half smile though.
Nice. Man, you're gonna put me out, brother, some night. And I'm not gonna come back. Part of me wanted to, I almost dozed off into like calling it a day. But no, Peter, staying focused here. And I just want to, first of all, for those of you who jumped on, we really welcome you. We are grateful for you to be here. We want to encourage you to chime in through the discussion. And we really want you to also ask if you have questions. Know that you can do that in this environment. But Peter, okay. Thank you for letting us get started. The focus of anti-aging is pretty broad. Tell us more about anti-aging.
You bet, Jake. So basically today, we actually know how to take control of our health. You know, those of us in the integrative medicine or quantum physics-based world of medicine, we now know how to take control of our health because we understand the landscape. This is new news to so many people. Okay, this is a type of worldview, belief system, or medicine that's finally at the peak of its performance. Mm-hmm. Those of you who were here last week, we spoke about the alarming rate of neurodegenerative issues facing the aging. And I shared on some of the latest research, the amazing discoveries that we're finding in alt med, and how our advanced solutions are helping more and more people every day and all the time. Mm-hmm. Starting with self-care, education, and lifestyle changes. We meet people where they're at. And in my clinical practice, as well as at our retreats here at Harmony Mountain Institute for Living, we get to the root of aging. We find out why people are aging. We put the fire out. So through individualized testing, everyone is unique. We determine that unique recipe for anti-aging for you and only you to bring you toward optimum health. Last week, I mentioned that we determine your diet, like we started talking in the beginning, Jake. Yeah. Everybody has, some people can take animal protein, some can't. Some people can do beans and legumes, others can't. Other people can do, brown rice and quinoa, others can't. Everybody's unique in what works for them. So we test everybody basically for their foods here. Mm-hmm. And then we move toward what people are lacking or missing in the form of a customized, just for you in the moment, nutraceutical protocol through testing. So here again, we test you to learn your exact nutrient deficiencies. So we basically restore and we maximize your anti-aging process, and we only use precision, plant-based, whole food, organic nutrition. It's not only whole food, we use whole food and live food.
Right.
Nutrition. And these are exclusive for your health and you, and only you. And then we talked about recommending activator water, which we talk about, and everybody leaves our office or our retreats knowing about activator water and how it's a small investment, then you're drinking like ki, prana, you know. And then we suggested, of course, always some exercise, perhaps even some stress reduction, yoga, meditation. We make all these tools and products available, for our people. We pass it on, man. We don't mark it up. We just pass it on. And next, and most importantly, is we identify and target your baggage, your chronic infections, and we eliminate your lifelong toxic burden through a personalized detox program, help you reduce your intake of big problem in our world today, electrosmog, heavy metals, dirty electricity. So this is anti-aging in our world at Harmony Mountain. So the key to our work is that no two people are alike, and we get to the root of your problem, and we treat the symptoms as well along the way. So our goal is to get you well, keep you well, and then just be here for you. That's my passion. It's my life work. It's something I've been doing for a long time, and I love it. I enjoy it, and I'm just here to help.
And that's wonderful, Peter. So I heard a couple things in there: custom nutrition, that's customized, and of course detoxification, and of course everything else. But that is a concise and great summary, Peter, of how you address the aging process. Why is it that we all age differently, though? You talked about a unique kind of nutrition plan. Why is it we're so different? And what are some of the determining factors that you look for when you're working with your clients and patients one-on-one, Peter?
It's a great question. And it starts with what you bring in, what you inherit, from your mom and your dad, your collective inheritance, if you will. Yeah. So basically, there's levels or stages of wellness today. And as our education has broadened over the years, we're learning about the toxic world, for example, which we didn't have to worry about 10, 20, 30 years ago or as kids, as well as how we could address today all these stages of poor and potentially future poor health, without pharmaceuticals, if you will. That's kind of one of our goals. Mm-hmm. So we know today that drugs only treat the symptoms. They only treat the symptoms in isolation. And then even only then with a reductionist and a compartmentalized approach. This is in the literature. Drugs and surgery are actually a leading cause of death. After cancer and heart and a few other things, drugs and surgery are one of the leading causes of death. More people actually die from medicine than disease. Mm. So our time-tested, well-researched, holistic approach works differently than drugs and surgery. So, here are the important factors to learn of how we approach anti-aging, which was your original question. We start with people's toxic load. Mm-hmm. It's heavy metals, solvents, glyphosate, the Roundup that we're all sniffing and breathing and eating in our food 24/7. Mm-hmm. The amalgam fillings, the metals in the mouth, parasites, yeast, mold, bacteria, Lyme, viruses, retroviruses, all prevalent in most everybody we test anymore. We come in with hundreds of toxins, and then over the lifetime it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Nutritional deficiencies as a result of this burden we carry. We get down on nutrition. It's not in the food. It's not in the soil. Structural issues, in the mouth, the jaw, the bones, the cranium, the vertebrae. Mm-hmm. So prevalent. We start breaking down. We don't get enough minerals and blah, blah, blah. So we then look for energetic disturbances, scars, traumas, blocked acupuncture meridians. We test, like I mentioned, for food intolerances that might be compromising somebody's health. We test for geopathic stress, which for those of you, that's the general term for energies that are emanating from the earth that cause discomfort and ill health in human beings. So because of their detrimental effect, they're often known as negative earth energies. So we have an abundance of peer-reviewed clinical journal research articles showing that cell phones, dirty electricity in our homes and our cars, Wi-Fi are rapidly becoming the main stressor leading to most of our health problems today. So when I test and treat people, this is what is showing up in them. So then finally, our program determines and helps resolve psycho-emotional issues, spiritual conflicts, and traumas, which is oftentimes the final step, oftentimes even the beginning step, of a true holistic approach. That's what makes one practitioner different than another, is that they treat the whole person and they know where to start. And then finally, we're all about evolving a healthy community here, and that's why we do this every week, which is the icing on the cake, for sharing and loving in a changing world.
We have your program is unreal, Peter, and it's we always we have some pre-planning discussion during the week, you guys, about the topic, and it's always so hard for definitely Dr. Amato to hone this to just one simple thing, because we are not one simple thing. We have these different dimensions. We are dynamic human beings, and the human condition isn't just a physical or mental or spiritual. We are this combination. By the way, Peter, we're gonna continue on here, but we've got some amazing people on tonight. Robin and Patty, they get it. They are on point. Read through some of those comments here.
I see them.
Yeah, just on point. 5G coming. You're right, Robin. It's time to wake up, be aware, and from awareness, you can do something about it. So we're about raising awareness here, but we're also about doing something about it. Because I've never seen this approach or methodology of understanding that addresses anti-aging and optimal health in such a deep, fully inclusive and profound way, everybody. This sounds to me like an approach rooted in quantum physics. And to explain that, Peter.
Absolutely, Jake. And just I'm reading some of the chats here with Robin.
Yeah.
Back here. So, in our way of testing, very often with Lyme, there's Robin, there's cofactors and there's underlying issues, with Lyme. For example, HPU is very prevalent. It's under the Lyme, and a lot of people don't test for that.
What is that, Peter? If you don't mind me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but what's HPU?
Well, these are cofactors, and they could even be retroviruses.
Yeah. Okay.
That eventually put the RNA in front of the DNA. It gets real technical.
Mm-hmm.
These are issues now that are surfacing in people that test for Lyme in a conventional way, but the problems actually are in what we call the in the matrix, in the field.
Right.
So they don't show up, in blood work because it's in the tissues.
Right.
So we have to test, in our way. We actually use CDs and slides in testing each human being for their toxic load as well as their co-infections.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really a fascinating and prevalent topic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either you could Google HPU or KPU. It's a very long name.
Mm-hmm.
But if you Google HPU or KPU, you'll find, talk about how it hides under Lyme. The 5G is a big thing, especially if you have amalgam fillings. These are antennas, all right? Antennas in our mouth. So even, I talked about it before, when you don't have turn your bedroom off, keep your phone off. Even when your phone is off, it's still on. It keeps time. So we can never get away from the Wi-Fi, the router, it's just bad stuff. Brain fog, all that stuff. You're absolutely right, Robin. And it's so prevalent in our society. It's been a 600% increase in brain cancer since we all started using cell phones, these computers we use. I mean, it's insane. So getting back to your question, Jake, as a matter of fact, some of the tools and technologies we utilize, test, and heal with, at this quantum level, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, um, you know, Lyme and co-infections. These aren't in the blood, electrosmog, not in the blood. You never find it. That's why you have to learn, find people that test for this, like we do, through the technology that we have. And as you know, Jake, Jake is the U.S. guru on the SCIO biofeedback device. That's his world. And one weekend we'll just let it be about Jake, explaining and telling us the joy and the amazing world. I use the quantum SCIO every day, which is a quantum physics-based biofeedback device, side by side with my manual testing. Some people like technology, other people like manual testing. So I give them both, and they mirror reflect each other at the end of the day. People say, wow. Okay. So we use that. We use pulsed electromagnetic field therapy to help people get back to their homeodynamics. The biophotons, the earth is robbing us of our energy. The air is robbing us. We're breathing aluminum all day long. You look at your windshield after the rain. It used to be clean when we were small. Now it's dirty.
Oh man, don't remind me. We
use bioptron light therapy. With the Fibonacci C60 lenses. So it's all based in quantum physics. What we do, we have great success with people. They come from all over the world to be with us. It's a true holistic approach, like nothing I've ever seen or been to. And I've traveled far and wide to see what's going on. That's my hobby, to always be in the forefront of helping people. That's where I invest.
So Doc, in addition to your quantum nutrition, through your testing methodologies, your full approach to health and healing calls on quantum physics. This is what you were telling us a few weeks ago. You called it our roots of transformation. That was one of our topics, and I highly recommend everybody go and listen to that. If you have time tonight, great. If not, later this week and weekend. But in that, you said that the Harmony Mountain approach brought together energy medicine, quantum nutrition, engaged spirituality, and the expansion of consciousness and ongoing community. Those are those 5 pillars we talked about. Now, though, I can see how you've combined your years of education and research together in putting together what could be the world's first quantum physics-based health and healing system, and one that pierces everything in getting to the core. Dr. Amato, this is so cool of what you're putting together in this whole approach. This is beyond just holistic. You're getting down to the core of what I believe is the future of medicine. Share with us your thoughts. That's more of a statement. It's not really a question, but I'm really excited to be working with you and for you to be sharing with us tonight about your approach. It's relevant to anti-aging too, because our health, when we're sick and we're not feeling to our best, that makes I don't think it's bad to get sick. That's a question I have later if we get to it. But there's nothing wrong with getting under the weather. That's your immune system working. But we're talking about some of the chronic conditions that are causing you to feel aged, old, tired, and sick. So please continue on, Peter.
Absolutely, Jake. You nailed it, man. And we see results, okay? The patients and the clients that are coming today, they're just different. They're showing up with other problems in the last couple of years. So we have to find deeper solutions, because what was going on was no longer working, and people weren't always getting better with what we were doing back in the day. Okay, and I you can't sleep at night if you're not able to do your work effectively. It's just so I'm always out on the cutting edge, traveling and learning with my colleagues, who's doing what, what's working, what's not working, follow the research, check the journals. And because our environment is so toxic that everybody's sick, whether they know it or not. We're all sick, but people don't know. When they come to me and they look like they're in tip-top shape and I do my testing, they got issues that one day they're going to have symptoms. And it could be what they leave the planet as a result of. So every client we see, not most, but every client is getting worse over the last, I'll say 5 to 10 years. We're carrying that load of toxins. We have infections. We got them since birth a lot. And now we have the geopathic stress. So the immune system is only so strong. And now, Jake and everyone, somebody mentioned muscle testing. Yes, I use muscle testing, but that's no longer as effective as it used to be because the autonomic nervous system is now taxing our health through the environmental pollution and the electrosmog. So I feel these issues will be the leading cause of death if they're not already. Yes, also the keys to a wonderful, youthful, long life can be handled and addressed with our testing. So we use muscle testing. We also test manually in an advanced state that brings in the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system to make sure that it's regulating. You see, when you muscle test, you don't know if it's regulating or not. It could already be stressed. Maybe you call for a product, but it's already stressed. You see, it's not as effective as it used to be because the electrical system isn't wired. It gets in parasympathetic dominance. So the muscle testing is not as effective. So we have to check to see, if they're functioning properly before we could test them. Our environment with these cell towers and the electro pollution just got people's turned off their electrical system. And like I say, the food, the chemtrails, the aluminum that's raining on us all day, the dirty electricity boiling our circuits in our homes. Wait till we get to 5G. It's going to be an epidemic for sure, like never before. But we don't hear much about it, in the mainstream. The research is already robust. All right, now is the time to clean up, defend your health, so that when the 5G is more prevalent, you've got your health back in a good state. You've got a constant detox program built into your life so that this 5G don't pull down your bioregulation and pull down your immune system. So you can beat the 5G and all the negativity, but you got to program up. We got to ramp up the way we take care of our health so that we're ahead of the curve. And the only way you can do that is through this quantum physics-based, fully inclusive healthcare approach. That's really the only way to stay healthy today, honestly. And I'm not just pitching, because I deal with it. I'm in the trenches. I know what works and what doesn't work for everybody.
And people are looking. They're looking for this, and it's not even mainstream medicine's fault. They're just not educated or schooled in this in their education. So it's just like you got to find it, and that's why you're here. And I just want to, everybody who's on right now, I just want to say thank you. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for giving back to yourself tonight. And if you're joining the conversation, like Robin and Patty and everybody thank you so much. There's some great questions in there that we can address. But Doc, this is so amazing. Everybody needs to get on board with this approach and learn more about your transformational retreats at this amazing environment, you guys, called the Harmony Mountain Institute for Living. What can you leave with us tonight? You can maybe answer some questions before we do the takeaway, but I want to just let people know before we get to go there, Peter, about how they can learn more. Okay, I just want to post it for everybody so they have the resource and the number so they're able to call and set up a free discovery call to learn more. And this may be for you or for a loved one. And that's the number, everybody. So write it down or go to the website here and you can book a call. But wrap things up, Peter. Let me, if you want to answer, Patty wrote a pretty long, wonderful statement there. Were you able to read those okay?
Absolutely. And Patty, what I can say is you're absolutely right on target that in our lifetime, we've been able to manage the toxic burden, and do our best with our diet and exercise and nutraceuticals. You're all pretty much on board if you're here with us tonight doing a lot of great things, I'm sure. But this environmental issue has taken us over the tipping point, as you would say.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but in the last 5 or 10 years, we're seeing clients with issues that we had to, as a community of healers in the world, I deal with a lot of German medicine and so forth, peel that onion, man. We had to keep finding out, well, what are these issues and how are they manifesting and how are the blood-brain barrier and all that. And we went through the years of, well, it's this, it's that, it's mitochondria, it's methylation and blah, 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 autoimmune. And now we finally have gotten to the bottom of it for today, where we get resolve in all cases. If it's early on enough, pre-symptomatics or the symptomatics or, not too bad, or you have a label or a diagnosis, but you're early on, everything is fixable, if it's not too late. So all I could say is that individuals need to understand that we're at a turning point, and that to take care of their health in a way that takes in all of these issues is the only way to get healthy and stay healthy. And a lot of the holistic healthcare practitioners, I love them. They're all family. But if they don't continue their education and continue to grow and change with the advances, then they're out of the loop.
Right. Because you don't know what you don't know. And what, Peter, you've done, and I commend you for, is you walk the walk. You don't just talk the talk. You were just this week at your that you were down in Philadelphia, learning that new art, that new craft, staying cutting edge, and that speaks highly of you in the commitment you have to your people. And so again, you guys, take advantage of the call. Book a call. Learn to see if a one-on-one session with Dr. Amato is right for you, or learn if the Harmony Mountain Transformational Retreat, it's a 5-day retreat at the Harmony Mountain Institute for Living. That's something I think, if you're looking for that, and that sounds like it would be something, don't worry about cost, this and that. You'll find that out. First, find out if it meets your needs, because I'll tell you, it's really a once in a lifetime type of opportunity. I've been there. I can speak from my personal experience, and it's a game life changer. But no, you can also book one-on-ones with Dr. Amato. Every day, the chemists and bioengineers are creating new substances and introducing them into the environment without fully understanding the ramifications to us. Patty, you're on point, and Patty knows what's up. She's sharp. So is Robin. So are all of you that are on, and we appreciate your commitment. There's some questions in here that we're not going to go too deep into, but Patty asked, can you talk specifically about your testing methods? How do you test folks? And do you have success with kinesiology? We're going to get into these webinars more specifically with the certain testing methods in the weeks to come. But Peter, can you address that a little bit for her this evening? We want to honor people's time right now too.
Yeah, Jake, and I did address it a little bit earlier that we do use muscle testing. However, the muscle testing that most practitioners learned over the years is no longer as effective because of the nervous system getting bombarded. Okay, so the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system is no longer functioning at
Mm-hmm.
100%. So when you go to muscle test, you're not getting an accurate reading because the system is already overtaxed to give a good answer. So you have to bring the system back into open regulation and then muscle test. So that's a process of its own to bring people back into regulation and keep them in open regulation while testing them.
And Peter, your tools, you have other tools, and you referred to me earlier as a guru. I'm not a guru, you guys, for the Skio quantum biofeedback. I simply have been in it all my life, and I'm a user and a passionate advocate. But those tools, like the Skio, like these other tools you have, they support your kinesiology and muscle testing because they offer not only they offer that subjective validation and confirmation of what the muscle testing is you do too. You've talked about that over the weeks. So it's not just because I know that helps because sometimes when a practitioner's asking for feedback back, their own, you're a human too as a practitioner, right, Peter? So your fog and influence from life and being a human can interfere too. So having these tools to back that up is what makes Peter unique in his approach. Peter, I don't know if you turned the camera. We lost you there.
Yeah, I was stepping aside for a minute to look for a paper.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Yeah, this is live, you guys. This isn't staged. We're here for you present. But if there's any other questions.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. I think Robin asked, what about dental fillings? And I answered.
Yeah, on dental, I mean, that's a whole evening talk as well. And
Yeah.
when I test people, honestly, the first visit, I test them from the top of their head to their thyroid. And usually there's already enough going on there to get some stuff done. Amalgam fillings, the bite, the cranial mandibular,
Yes.
TMJ, root canals. I mean, most people who have root canals in their lifetime are going to have problems. At some point, they're going to act up.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a guarantee. Implants, not titanium, not gold. Do the zirconium implants if you're going to do implants. Always try to locate a biocompatible dentist. Yeah, they're expensive, but this is your health. This isn't your teeth. Even when the bridge crosses the midline in your mouth, if you have an extended bridge and crosses the midline, it's going to bring issues. I mean, everything is just so. Every tooth is connected to an organ and a gland, an organ or a gland. Mm-hmm. Every tooth in your mouth is connected to an organ or a gland, the circuitry. That's the intensity of the interconnected field. So imagine then you put an implant, a metal implant or an amalgam filling, it's an antenna. You're on your cell phone, that energy is going to your tooth and to your brain. If you have amalgam filling, you're just frying. So that nervous system, it just isn't accurate that one would even muscle test. They're not even available.
Yeah.
That's how intense this is. But it's all reversible, all fixable. You just have to know where to go and what to do and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, meridians, they're everywhere. You're absolutely right, Patty.
So, Peter, as we come, we're at about 40 minutes, and I want to honor people's time, and we are grateful you guys have stuck with us and have enjoyed and been participating. But what I love about these is you leave us with the takeaway. What can we focus on moving forward so that we can take some of these concepts and walk with them away tonight and apply into our life?
Well, I think intentionality is the biggest thing. Just cultivate an intention to take care of your health, do the best you can, find ways to do it, and know that if you want to live long and happy and healthy, that's where you invest.
Mm-hmm.
so many folks, I have to walk them over the threshold, because they say, oh, well, it's this and it's that and the kids and the shoes. And I say, yeah. I said, well, you smoke cigarettes? How much a pack? Do you drink? Do you go to the casino? Do you go shopping? Do you go? In other words, look around your life and see, where you might want to buy an activated water machine for, $200 or $300 instead of a new pair of shoes, or, going out for dinner one weekend, or this is the biggest problem I see. A lot of people, they just, well, if insurance doesn't cover it, I know it's a lot of money, but it's really a big problem.
Yeah, really, it's not. It's about prioritizing and
Your
being
your intention.
And the intention. And so if your intention is to find that youth and that well-being and that health again, if that is your intention or aligned and associated with part of that intention, you have to take action now in order for that intention to manifest. And part of that is prioritizing where you allocate your energy, financial energy, time, and other resources, putting yourself first. And that's what I got from your takeaway tonight, Peter. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So do you want to follow and close things with your closing guided intention and meditation? And we'll call it an evening. And before we do that, as we close after the meditation, we'll say goodbye. And I just want to really thank everybody for being on. It's been a wonderful, wonderful group tonight, Peter. And man, talk about some in tune. I love it. I love it, Robin. I love it, Patty, and everybody else. Thanks for contributing. It makes a difference and adds to the learning for us all.
Absolutely. So let's go back and close our eyes one last time here. And as Patty says, to be lived with more awareness. This week ahead is going to be lived with more awareness. Bring that in. This week is going to be lived with more awareness. Put on the half smile. Let's tap that in. Take your fingertips on both your hands and start tapping the crown of your head. Tap, 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 nice and slow. And be bringing that in as your mantra. This week is going to be lived with more awareness. Tap the forehead, above the eyes. Tap, tap, slow tapping. Above the teeth. Tap, tap. This week is going to be lived with more awareness. Below the teeth, the back of the head, above the ears, the thyroid and the thymus gland right below the thyroid. This week is going to be lived with more awareness. Let that be part of your intention. And next week, if you join us, simply notice if you were more aware during the week of anything that we discussed or caught your radar screen. And follow that up with your own intention that you may have brought to the party tonight or cultivated as a result of our chit-chat. And drop that in to the machine. Filter it, breathe it in, take it through your organs and glands. Spend some time with it at your heart. Flood it with green energy. We're moving into fall, lower chakra season, red, orange, and yellow. It's a nice time of year. Breathe it down and out the feet. Send that intention out with the breath of the universe into the river of the future and the past. Breathe on it. Breathe with it. Feel loved and loving, knowing you're perfect in every way. Always were, always will be. Thanks for joining us again, guys. Love you all, and see you next week. Namaste.